Morning everybody on this sunny Saturday. Isn't this weather amazing? I feel like I'm sat abroad somewhere when actually I'm in my back garden. I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone for all your support. I can't believe how many people have been viewing my videos and messaging me and tweeting me, and it's been fantastic. So thanks guys, let's carry on, let's get this word out. Yeah, thank you. So I thought I'd start today by explaining what IBS actually was. So IBS stands for Irritable Bowel Syndrome. You will hear this bound around a lot and people will be like, oh, it's just IBS, blah, blah, blah. My consultant at the hospital actually said that medical science does not actually know that much about the gut and stomach. So what they tend to do is they'll tend to diagnose something as IBS because they just simply don't know enough about the insides, basically. And that's quite often why things get missed, and that's also why, like for me, for the past 10 years, they still, they change their mind about what they think it is, what it isn't, and why I'm still undergoing treatment and being diagnosed. So obviously if it's a difficult area to diagnose, it's going to be difficult to also cope with the symptoms and find a cure, because obviously they don't know how it all works. So IBS is not just about feeling like you need to go to the toilet. There is so much more. Obviously you've got the bloating, which you saw in my last video. That has gone down a bit actually for me. It's still a bit bloated, but yeah, so you've got that. You also have, you get really tired and lethargic. Like if I've had a bad flare up, I'll feel like I've had the flu, and I'll just want to lay in bed and I can't sleep, but I'm so tired. So that doesn't help things, because obviously your body needs to sleep in order to repair itself. Quite often you get really bad backaches, you feel sick, or you are sick. That's a really common thing for me. I nearly always feel sick as a side effect of it. And probably the most irritating symptom of them all is the stomach pain. It's quite hard to explain, but if you have IBS you'll know that it's almost like I'm going to use my hands here, but it's almost like it's cramping but also pulling, and I quite often find that there's no pain relief that seems to work. Sometimes I use stuff like Buscopan and everything, but yeah, I tend to have to just go to bed and hope to sleep it off and it'll be alright in the morning. I also quite often get headaches, which are now starting to turn into migraines. I haven't had migraines for years, but over the past couple of weeks I've started getting quite bad migraines, so that's been quite tough, because you can't do anything when you've got a migraine, because you can't drive, you can't go anywhere because you can't see particularly well, and you don't feel well enough to do it either. So so all of those things together, if you're having a flare up where something has triggered it, so that could be either food, stress tends to trigger it as well. It could be anything that's triggered it. It could be stress on the body. For example, if you did a massive run. When I did the London Marathon a couple of days after, I was so ill, and my doctor actually explained, because my body was under a lot of stress. I wasn't stressed, but my body was kind of really tired. It had also kicked in then. So those sort of things can trigger a flare-up, and when you've got all of those symptoms all together, it's really horrible, and it's quite, well, it does limit me really a lot, because obviously if I've got things planned I can't go anywhere because I'll be too ill, or quite often, more than not, I've had to call in sick at work because I've been so ill I can't leave the house, which is really bad, and I always used to feel really embarrassed by saying why I couldn't come to work, but when I kind of sat down and explained to my managers, you know, what it was and that I'm still undergoing diagnosis, they're actually really supportive. So I would recommend that if someone is going through something like this and you're taking a lot of time off work sick, just go and speak to your manager and explain everything, because they will understand, and it is recognised that it's not particularly pleasant. So yeah, so I would advise to do that. So obviously if you've got triggers such as stress and foods, you have to try and cut them down. But food, obviously you can cut out trigger foods, but you have to find out what's what. So hence why I'm starting with gluten, to see if that's a trigger food, and then probably going to move on to dairy in a couple of weeks as well, and to see if that helps. But it's all very well saying, oh, it's the stress that's triggering it, but I mean, how can you actually cut down on your stress? It's pretty hard, because more often than not, you're stressed because something major happens. You're not going to determine, you know, if someone passes away or, you know, major stressful issues. You can't determine, and I think it's just, yeah, they need to maybe look into ways that you can help cope with those stressful factors. One of mine is I really enjoy running, hence why I'm in my running gear. I found that when I'm stressed and if I do more exercise, then I tend to get less of my symptoms of my of being ill. I mean, that's not always the case, but I do feel that it does help quite a bit. So yeah, later on in a few weeks, probably be doing some more videos about, I'm going to be looking into research about, you know, levels of exercise and stress levels lowering and all of this. So I will be getting some facts as well as just my own opinions, don't worry about that. Right, so this week, obviously I'm nearly a week off gluten as well. I went into Tesco's, oh, you saw the video, I was trying to film in their car park, and I didn't have time to make my lunch that morning, so I was like, oh, it'll be fine, I'll just get something from Tesco's. I thought I'd get like a meal deal. I was so disappointed. They have nothing at all that is gluten free in their like meal deals, not even a salad. So I was looking around the shop and I was like, oh, this is ridiculous. And I'd put some stuff on Facebook about, oh, where do I find, you know, where do I find somewhere that actually I can get lunch from if I don't make it? And I've had some good responses. And Marks and Spencer's, everyone was saying, have a look in Marks and Spencer's, and they do really well. Obviously their meal deals are only like £1 more expensive, but you get so much more, and they have a huge gluten-free variety. So top marks, Marks and Spencer's. So pleased with that. Another shop, Sainsbury's in Whitney, is fantastic. I went in there the other day and went to go and kind of bulk buy all my gluten-free stuff for the week, so I could stock up. And yeah, they have so much. They not only have a massive aisle just for gluten-free stuff, but they've got stuff like, I'll show you, these sausages. These are then, I always used to have these sausages, and now they've made them gluten-free, so they're the same price as what they were before, which is great, and they taste amazing as well, so I'm really chuffed with that. So I thought I'd do like a top 3 of what I'd found. So sausages, they taste fantastic. Next is this. These are lush, absolutely. I love pie and mash, or pie and chips, or I love pies basically. So to find something that I can eat, that I enjoy, is really nice as well. And my third one is gluten-free bread. Now, I don't know if many people try gluten-free bread, but more often than not, it's absolutely disgusting. It's dry, it has no taste, it's just horrible. But this is actually Warburton's that I got from Sainsbury's, and and it's called Newburn Bakehouse. It's really nice. I've been having it all week. I can't really taste the difference. When it's toasted and you've got stuff on it, then there's not really anything, you know, you can tell it tastes a little bit different, but it doesn't taste horrible, which is great. The only thing I would say is, like, it's £3 a loaf, so it's a bit expensive. I feel like I need to take out a loan if I'm going to keep buying all this food, because it's not particularly cheap, but, you know, it would be worth it if it's going to make me feel better. So yeah, so they're my top 3 this week. Really pleased I found all of them. I have been looking, also been really careful about other things like chocolate. So for example, dairy milk doesn't have gluten in, so I automatically thought that all chocolate didn't, until I picked up like a Galaxy bar, and you know, it's got gluten in and all this. So I realised just how careful I need to be, and how much I need to look at the labels, and you know, make sure that I'm not accidentally eating gluten when I'm not realising it. So yeah, I think I feel a little bit more healthier for doing this. I've been eating a little bit better. Like, yeah, you can have a look. This is my breakfast today. So poached eggs with avocado and gluten-free toast, where normally if I was in a rush I'd probably like get a couple of croissants from the shop on the way to work or whatever. So but obviously I don't have that option now, so it's better. And I'm also learning to plan ahead. Like last night I came back from work and really late. I made myself a stir fry with some rice noodles, so that I'd have it for lunch today. So I think it's quite good to prepare and prep before. Yeah, so this week I found that preparation is definitely key. I need to get organised and, you know, work out, right, if I got to be up early tomorrow, I need to make my food for tomorrow lunch tonight. You know, you have to really plan ahead, which is good. Yeah, I just need to work on it a bit, because sometimes when I forget, like everyone, it's not as easy to just go and grab a sandwich from the shop, because obviously there's not a lot of places that does gluten-free sandwiches. But yes. Anyway, I feel like I've been babbling on for a long time. So what I'm going to have a talk about next week is I'm going to be explaining what IBD is, which is irritable bowel disease. And then I'm also going to be letting you know, obviously, how the diet's been going, my next 3 top picks of what I found, and yeah, anything else that happens during the week. So thanks again for everyone's support. I hope everyone has a wicked weekend, and I will check in with you again on Monday. Thank you.